Win as one. EA Sports FIFA 21 sponsors Saturday Social.
Now today we're joined by the first professional YouTuber / professional footballer, Ben Foster. For people that don't know, Ben, tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel. You're nearly at 500,000 subscribers now in just a few months. It's ridiculous.
Elite.
I love it. Cheers, guys. I honestly don't know if I am the first one or not, whatever. I don't know. But I think I'm the first one to kind of just sort of peek behind the curtain a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I've got the GoPro in the goal. When I'm playing matches, I put the GoPro in the back of my net. And so you can sort of hear all the interactions between me and the other players, kind of what they say, if they miss an opportunity, how like that, you can hear them sort of like, screaming, that kind of stuff. You can hear me sort of directing and instructing my defenders. And then obviously you also get to see all the goals going in or like the saves or anything like that. So it's pretty cool, that kind of thing. But then also, kind of at half-time and full-time, I'll take the GoPro back with me into the changing room. So normally, sort of when somebody's watching a game on a Saturday afternoon, as soon as the full-time whistle goes, that's it, game over. But I'll carry on that kind of journey a little bit. I'll carry on through the tunnel, into the changing rooms, and people buzz off seeing that kind of stuff because they never get to see that. You know, nobody ever gets treated to see the changing rooms, and if somebody's won, how happy or excited people get. Do you know what I mean? People, I think they think footballers are kind of robots at times, but we're not. We're just normal blokes who do probably the same normal things that everybody else does.
For sure. I mean, it's incredible viewing. If you've not seen it, please check out his channel. What kind of motivated you to get into vlogging and start a YouTube channel? Where, I don't know, were you watching Chunkz' videos every week and thought you could do this?
I have started watching Chunkz' videos. Chunkz, I said to you earlier, 1.6 million subscribers, mate.
Thank you.
It's massive.
Appreciate it, man.
Where's your gold plaque? I want to see your gold plaque. You should have your gold plaque behind you.
Go on, right. It's right here, man.
There she is. Oh, that's pretty.
There.
Show off, sir. This is just show off.
This is my shield for me. That's my community shield.
What was the question? Sorry, I forgot the question. How did I get started? Yeah, so I think it was in the original lockdown, the very first lockdown. Kind of the weather was like banging, weren't it? It was always warm. We were outside a lot, having a good time, and I was always out just doing something. Whether I was out on my bike with my mate, clocking up the miles, or I was in the garden with the kids. We were playing football. We were doing like sub courses. I was setting all sorts of stuff up for them because where we live, luckily enough, we're like in the middle of a farm. Basically, we're in the middle of a field, so we've got like land to go and do stuff and mess about. We've got like trees and woods and all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking of doing something like that anyway, and then we got back to football. You know, the pressure was on a little bit with football, with trying to avoid relegation, which, you know, we didn't manage to do, unfortunately. But it kind of stemmed from there. And then I thought, nah, sod it. I'm going to just stick it in the back of my goal as well. And I kind of knew I was doing something a little bit wrong. I was pretty sure that they were going to say, nah, you can't put the camera in the back of your goal. Like, come on, you can't do that. We've got companies who sponsor millions of pounds and you think you can just go and do that. So I kind of knew I was doing something a little bit wrong, but I just sort of winged it. I went with it. And then I think the EFL and Sky Sports, they saw the reception to it. They saw how good and upbeat and how positive it was. And don't get me wrong, I'm very clever at what I put out. I know what I can and can't put out. And like I say, they saw the reception to it. And I've got to say, Sky Sports, EFL, they were so good. They were fantastic at just making sure it could continue. So we agreed a contract, and that's how it just sort of went from there and went up from strength to strength.
Yeah, it is class. And like before we start the show, we were chatting a little bit about YouTube, and you was kind of saying like you actually genuinely love creating a thumbnail, shooting it. Like, what is it about that sort of thing that gets you so excited?
I think a lot of people think I just kind of, I'll do the filming and then I'm like, I'll just sort of give it to somebody. I'll go deal with it, sort of deal with everything. But no, I love it. I absolutely buzz off everything to do with YouTube. Like for people who haven't got their own YouTube channel out there, there's another side to YouTube called the YouTube Studio, which is like all the analytics, and it will tell you about everything to the minutest detail about your channel. It is incredible. Like you get lost in data and numbers and all that. It's amazing. But yeah, with the thumbnails, and I do all the thumbnails myself. I probably change them a little bit too much, to be honest with you, because with the first thumbnails, they were okay, but then I must have honestly gone back and changed them about 10 times, to the point where my mate's gone, mate, apparently it affects the algorithm. Like this kind of stuff to me is so mad. So if you change the thumbnail or the title of your YouTube video, your video can then just get lost in the algorithm, and it's the worst thing you can do. But I've settled on a style now, and I'll just keep it the same. But I do enjoy it. I love it. Honestly, it's class.
Oh, this is amazing! I never in a million years I would have thought I'd be talking to a professional YouTuber about footballer about YouTube properly. But one of the things I really want to know is how has the fans' response been to this? Especially like you had an incident where Jamal Lowe even celebrated in front of the GoPro, which is quite cool to see. How's it been with the fans?
Okay, first let me just talk about the Jamal Lowe one. So the Jamal Lowe one, we was obviously playing against Swansea. He scored a goal, and I didn't even know this, but he's run up to the camera, and it's just literally that. He's pointing at the camera, celebrating kind of thing. And I say I didn't know he had done it, because I'm just gutted I've let a goal in. I get in at half time, the lads are like, Fozzie, did you see him? Like, he celebrated in front of your GoPro. I'm thinking, this is gonna look incredible, you know. This is gonna. And they were like, he's got honestly, I like it. Doesn't, but if somebody wants to celebrate for it, they're not trying to score extra hard just so they can celebrate in front of the GoPro. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, kind of thing. But yeah, the fans' reaction to it, to be fair, like they've been great. Like it probably goes with the territory. If I have a good game, people want to see the video and they're buzzing for it, and it's amazing. But you know, if I make a mistake, then I know for a fact I'm probably going to have Watford fans on my back saying that you're not really sort of fully invested in the team. You just care about you. Might learn to just sort of football for me, like at my age, it's autopilot. You just do it, you know. You don't get too upset, you don't get too excited. It is what it is, you know. I've learned that as you get on, that's the best way to do it as well. Don't get too high and don't get too low. You just got to roll with every single punches, because you're never too far away from making a mistake in the next game. So, but the fan reaction has been really good, to be fair. People are enjoying it.
What about the lads in the changing room? Are they giving you a bit of stick for being a YouTuber now, or are they like on board? Is Troy Deeney battering you on the training ground?
They're on board. They absolutely buzz off it, mate. Like if I've got a video coming out tonight, I'll have the video probably in the morning ready to go, and the lads are like, Fozzie, when's the video? So I'll tell them, they're like, oh, let's watch it. So sometimes I'll have like 5 or 6 players behind me watching on my phone, kind of thing. Like, oh, that's class. Oh, that's wicked. That kind of. So they're absolutely buzz off it. At first, they were super skeptical. They were like, why are you bringing a camera in the changing room? What are you filming? Like, you weirdo. Like, so yeah, they were a bit wary at first, but then they got to see what I was putting out. And like I say, I'm clever enough to know what I can and can't put out. I'll never try and incriminate anybody or stitch somebody up. So now they're fully on board. They really enjoy it. They really like it. Even like the cycling videos I do, they're always like, even their videos are decent, Fozzie. Like, we like watching the cycling videos. Like, so no, it's good. They
How
like
do Watford
it.
feel about the cycling? Because sometimes you're travelling big old distances on that bike, and I can't like. Surely the club are going, Ben, you've got to stop cycling 50Ks.
Mate, I don't tell them about half the cycling I do either. It's one of those things that they trust me to know my own body and know that on a Saturday afternoon I'll be there, I'm good to go, kind of thing. So they just sort of leave me to it, to be honest with you. Like it's almost sort of tried and trusted and tested. You know what I mean? I know that on a Saturday afternoon I'll be there 100% good to go, and they trust me to do that. So whether I need to get out on the bike and do 50, 60, 70k, thing cycling, it's not just like the physical aspect, it's the mental aspect as well. Like I said, there's so much pressure involved in football and all this kind of stuff. Just getting there out on your bike, I might be out for an hour, 2 hours, but I'll get back and I'm good to go. I've got a smile on my face. I feel so much happier. It's wicked. Anybody who wants to get into cycling, do it. It's class.
Amazing. Now, what about post COVID? What are your plans for YouTube then? One of the biggest things for YouTubers is to collaborate. Any ideas of that? Maybe a penalty challenge with Chunkz?
Chunkz, here we go. Come on, mate. Let's get it on, all right? Oh, I know, because you've got the most subscribers. You'll want all the videos for you and stuff like that. That's the way it
works. There's no way, bro. That's the thing with this YouTube thing. Like, the only way it works is that people both benefit from it. So, I'm not that kind of guy. I'll make sure that you get a great video, I get a great video, and we're laughing.
No, the like the YouTube community, I've got to say, is so nice. Like, it's proper class. Like, people, the people that I've seen and like found and met through YouTube are so much nicer than the other social medias. Do you know what I mean? Like the Twitter of this world, where I just find Twitter is just like a cesspit. There's so much aggro and so much angst on Twitter. It's just not a nice place to be at times. But YouTube, honestly, if you're putting out decent content for people, they fully appreciate it, and they let you know as well. They'll give you so much love. Like, if I ever want to feel good, I'll go through the comments in my YouTube videos, and I feel a million. Honestly, I feel a million after looking through some of my videos. It's just a real nice place. It is. It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I really want to see a Wayne Rooney, Ben Foster collab go on the channel. Is that something that could possibly happen? Now he's kind of retired. I know he's in the management side. Do you think you could convince him, send him a text?
I think, like, going forward, honestly, I genuinely think there's going to be more footballers doing this kind of thing. Maybe not necessarily like GoPro in the goal like I do, but just showing behind the scenes, like a day in a life, like a match day vlog, the build up, what it looks like at their team, that kind of stuff. And then you got collaborations for fun. Do you know what I mean? The modern day footballer, the likes of like James Maddison and Mason Mount and Declan Rice, all those kind of people. Like, how awesome would that be if these kids were doing YouTube like I'm doing? Like, they would have the most views and the most subscribers ever because they're cool kids to start with, and they like kids nowadays, they want to watch that kind of stuff, don't they? They want to see these guys doing it, and it's there. I honestly think there's a massive niche in the market for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Chunkz, you've worked with loads of footballers as well. It's kind of ready-made. Like, do you think more footballers should just start doing it? I kind of do.
110%, bro. They had the personality for it. Like Ben was saying, people just think they're robots, but they're actually very fun people. So I think, like, if they came out of their little, if they actually came out with their real personalities and people would see it, I can't lie, he's right. They'll be banging views, bro. 100%.